All right, we're back with another pick'em video. It is Thursday, April 10th in the NBA. Going to do a really quick video in this one. Not going to go through all the games, but just the guys that I'm really focusing on for the games. There's a ton of injury news. Some teams just aren't even playing for anything. I bet there's going to be more injury news throughout the day as we continue to get closer to the game time. So not going to do a full breakdown, just guessing on who's going to play or not. But there are some implications where we do know certain guys are out and games that do matter a little bit more that we could tack a little bit heavier. So that's what we're going to get into for this one. It's going to be a quicker video. Definitely liking the plays that I am going to go over in this one, but just keep that in mind. Not going to be a full deep dive. So if that sounds cool, definitely go ahead and leave the video a like, comment something down below, and of course subscribe if you are new. Let's hop into it. So before we hop into the video picks for today, real quick going over the video picks from yesterday. We talked about 7 of them, so we had a whole bunch of them. There was a ton of games and things like that. We ended up going 4 and 3. Let's talk about the misses. Spencer Dinwiddie over 6.5 assists. We really attacked that because I should have talked myself out of it thinking about it, because I went to it and I was like, okay, AD might have a nice revenge game, which he didn't. He's kind of soft. Luka goes for 45. AD doesn't do much of anything in the loss. And then I was like, okay, but I don't really love AD's points line. Let's get the next best thing where Dinwiddie's probably going to be setting him up. He plays very well with all 3 of these bigs in the lineup. That was the angle there, and AD just wasn't as effective against his Lakers defense as I thought it was going to be. So Dinwiddie didn't get there. He only had 4 assists, to be totally honest. Do I think it's a bad read? No, I think in just hindsight, it probably looks like a bad read. But at the same time, I did think AD was going to be a little bit more aggressive, but I should have caught on like, hey, I don't love AD's points line. Maybe it's not smart to go to a Dinwiddie assist line. On the Pajemski line here, that was 15.5 points. He just didn't shoot well. He had shot 4 straight games of shooting very, very well, and we caught him on off game shoots like 3 of 11 or something, 1 of 5 from 3, and the Warriors actually lose that game. So an off night for a lot of guys, and unfortunate there. He had an amazing matchup, so I don't mind it. And then Devin Booker under 32.5 points and assists. Well, I didn't know that Shea was going to get ruled out. I didn't know Lou Dort was going to get ruled out. Hartenstein, a ton of defenders got ruled out, and I bet this line went up after that. And he didn't even score that much. He had 20 points and chipped in with 14 assists. So that was just unfortunate. A bunch of guys ruled out after I made the video. So another one where I was like not expecting that, and that's what you get at this point in the year. We don't know who's going to play. People can get ruled out an hour before game time, and you're going to get screwed on some plays that you might have really had a good look on. Because I'm very happy with this look on the under, and if all those guys played, I'd say he does get that under. So unfortunate there. The 4 winners were good reads overall. And overall, it just this part of the season gets a little bit more complicated. And we're going to be looking at a lot of random guys off the bench that are going to be getting more minutes. I always say random guys. They're not random guys, but guys that are more opportunistic at this point in the season, getting a little bit more minutes with all the injuries and people not playing for much. And that's what we're going to look into for today. All right, so for the plays, we're going to be using a tool called Props Madness like we always do. If you want to check out Props Madness, use my link in the description down below. If you're watching this video and you're like, damn, I got to try this thing out, you can get it for a free week, which pretty much gets you to the end of the regular season, which is pretty sweet. Just use code RICH when you do that. Again, link in the description down below. When you get that, you get the free week and you get 25% off your first month or your first year. So definitely check out Props Madness. The tool is awesome. And we're going to see that with Ryan Rollins. He's going to be the first pick that I'm looking through today. Not going to go through full injury reports today, but I do want to mention for the Milwaukee Bucks, as of right now, Giannis game time decision. Obviously no Damian Lillard. Bobby Portis is back, so obviously dealing with some sort of injuries. And seeing Giannis with that knee injury, probably a little bit hobbled. And at this point, they're kind of locked into their position in the seeds. They're probably going to be the 5 seed. I don't think the Pistons can catch them. I think that's what it is. Pistons are behind them. Pacers are in front of them, something like that. But they're all like a 2-game difference. So we're getting to the point where it might not even matter if Giannis plays or not. And I'm just kind of expecting maybe he doesn't play at all. And if he does play, this is a 14-point spread. Maybe it gets out of hand pretty early, and they go with the young guy a little bit more. So Ryan Rollins is going to be my main look here. I can't trust if Giannis is going to play or not. I don't really know if Brook Lopez, like if Giannis gets ruled out, maybe Brook Lopez is a late scratch. You don't really know who's going to happen. But I do know that they like this young kid. His points line's at 9.5, and his points and rebounds line is at 12.5. That's where I'm going to be looking at it. Most places still have this 12.5. Probably some places at 13.5. Looks like DraftKings is the only place. But 12.5 I am like what I'm seeing here. Well, first of all, he has played these guys recently. April 6th, he had 21 points and rebounds against his team. He had 14 points and 7 rebounds on 13 rebound chances. That was a game without Giannis and without Damian Lillard. Also no Bobby Portis in that one. So obviously got a little bit more time in this. We could see something like that today. Maybe Giannis plays, maybe he doesn't. But I'm banking on the more opportunity here, maybe in a blowout situation. It's a bad team they're going up against. Why not run Ryan Rollins a little bit more than usual? So I'm liking what I'm seeing from there. Next thing I want to see is he's projected for 24 minutes in this game, I believe. Going to this, again, That's if Giannis plays. If Giannis doesn't play, I assume that goes up. So in 24 plus minutes, that's what I'm going to be looking at for this. We can go to the minutes. We can go right to here and see 24 plus minutes. We don't have to go to 24, but he's over this now in 7 of 11 games. So seeing that much time in the court, he's getting a little of an extra boost here. So that's awesome to see. Next thing I'd say is like, okay, what about with Damian Lillard and Giannis out? In those games, he's over in 5 of 7. That's not even thinking about his minutes. He's obviously going to get a little bit more extra time. How about without Damian Lillard? Still over with 11 of 19. This is if Giannis plays or not. So I'm liking Ryan Rollins in a better position here. You can see the way he scores the ball. Perfect matchup for him to score the ball. Pelicans are horrible defensively. Interior, above the break threes, spot up transition, his main ways of scoring. This is a great opportunity for him. And I'm chipping with the rebounds because sure, the hit rate's pretty good without Damian Lillard, but he also grabbed 7 rebounds against this team recently. That was a game that he got a little bit more opportunity, 28 minutes in that game, 13 rebound chances. So really, really liking this Ryan Rollins play. I think for the next few days, as we kind of wind down the season, these are the types of players you go for. This is when we see Malachi Flynn go for 50, Peyton Pritchard go for like 30-point triple doubles. Ryan Rollins is going to be, some of those niche kind of guys where they're getting more opportunity and they're, NBA players for a reason. Next guy I want to look at here is Jaren Jackson Jr. over his 24.5 points and rebounds. Obviously over this in 62% of games, but again, if you see games with Ja Morant and Desmond Bane who are both active, he's actually over in 69% of these games. So I like that right off the bat. He's played this team, this Minnesota team, twice, and he's crushed this line. These are both games with Ja Morant and Desmond Bane in the lineup. 35 points and rebounds, 41 points and rebounds. You can see similar types of players like Bobby Portis, John Collins, Tobias Harris, Jaylen Brown, it looks like. All similar types of players of how they score their points, getting buckets against them. So it might seem like a tough matchup in terms of spot up, transition, free throws and post up, things like that. But these similar types of players have been able to go over their lines, and we've seen that in the 2 games they've played so far this year back in January. So Jaren Jackson Jr., pretty good spot to rebound the ball. Rebounded really well against them in both those games. Scored very well against them in both those games. You can see rebounding players, very similar players doing okay against this team. So I like what I'm seeing. And these are games that's not like Ja missed or Desmond Bane missed. Both these guys were active and ready to go. They're looking for playoff positioning, so this game definitely does matter. Both these teams are going to be playing hard. So we could see Jaren Jackson Jr. and the main guys, Ja and Desmond Bane, get a whole lot of time in this one if it does stay close. 2-point spread, and that's just going to add for more opportunities for rebounds or for scoring here for Jaren Jackson Jr. So not sure why this is so low. I can make this even look a little bit better. So getting both these guys in here, seeing the head-to-head, but also just seeing the minutes he's projected to play today, which I think is like 33 minutes. Going over to RotoWire, seeing the projected minutes, 33 projected minutes in this one. Again, if it stays close, they're going to want this game to win. So if we're going to see 30 plus minutes, let's say, of him, 81% hit rate for Jaren Jackson Jr. So I'm not sure why this is so low. Both these teams are relatively healthy. Actually, the Grizzlies just lost Jalen Wells after that scary fall. So if anything, he's going to get a little bit of boost, maybe an extra shot or two. Who knows there? But should be a close one, maybe a playoff-like atmosphere. Jaren should step up in this situation, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from this hit rate, the minutes he's projected to play and everything. The matchup doesn't seem great when you look at the numbers, but again, similar types of guys and himself have been able to play pretty well against this team. Next thing I want to look at here is going to be Trey Young. I'm not looking at his points, but the first thing I'll mention is the fact that it's a very hard matchup. You can see that above the break threes, pick and roll ball handling. But the other thing here is the Hawks want to win this game. Right now they're in the 8th seed, meaning they play that 7-8 game in the play-in tournament. If they win that game, they're on to the playoffs. They make a playoff spot. If they drop to the 9 or 10 seed, which they are very close to, like another loss would get them into that 9 or 10 seed, that breaks it so they have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. So this is a very important game for the Hawks. I think Trey Young will be in playoff mode. I think he's going to be, putting the team on his back a little bit here. It is a very difficult matchup for him on paper. He's been able to go over against difficult matchups anyway. Here's like the Magic last game. He had 28 points. These are games they want to win. So he played pretty well there. As assist-wise, he only had 10 assists, but he was able to score pretty well. He scored the ball pretty well against these guys in both the matchups so far. That was back in October, and then more recently in March. So I'm almost inclined to look at his points, even though this is such a difficult matchup. You can actually see when you look at the dominant player type, that pick and roll ball handler, this Nets team is literally ranked number 1. So going to like top 10 defenses in terms of that, the hit rate on his points does look a little bit worse here, 47% hit rate on the points. But the good thing is you look at the assists, and he's diming up still, 61.9% of the assists or of the time he's going over his assist line here. If you make it even a little bit more difficult for him, the above the break threes is another thing that's going to be difficult here. So that dominant scoring zone, they're ranked number 2 there. You can see he's only over his points line in 44% of these, but the assist is still over 66%. So I'm leaning Trey's assist at 11.5. I'm not sure if it's going to make an official play, but just wanted to point out Trey, probably with the team on his back today, he's got a very difficult matchup to score the points, but he's been able to do it in an okay amount of time, including twice against this same team. And he just went over against the Magic. You know, they need to win these games. It looks like he's playing pretty aggressively. So I'm inclined to look at his points. If you want to be a little bit more safe, look at his assists, 11.5. I think he'll be able to do, a little bit of both. And then the same game here, Beekman is projected for the most minutes right now for the Brooklyn Nets, who are obviously dealing with a ton of injuries. Projected for 31 minutes in this game. Obviously, he's been able to do it. only had this many minutes in a few games, but seeing like 26 plus minutes, you get 3 games there. Rebounds and assists, he's over in 2 of these games. He's got a very weak matchup here in terms of rebounds and assists, so if he's going to get that much time in the court, I don't mind, looking at him to get 7.5 rebounds and assists. I think this is a pretty good line for us to attack. But again, more of a lean here. I don't have the best read on this game overall. So that's actually going to do it for this one. Not a ton of games going on and a ton of injury news to kind of sift through. I'm going to be betting a lot more closer to game time when I actually know who's going to be playing, and maybe certain guys to be able to attack if certain guys do get ruled out or ruled in, whatever it might be. But as of right now, Ryan Rollins over 12.5 points and rebounds. That's an official video pick. Jaren Jackson Jr. over 24.5 points and rebounds. That's an official video pick. And we talked about 2 leans in that Hawks and Brooklyn game. If it can stay close, I think Trey Young over 11.5 assists was looking pretty good. If you want to gamble with his points, the only reason I'm not going there is because it looks like such a difficult matchup. But at the same time, Trey might be putting this team on the back a little bit more, and he got over his points line in both the games so far against this team. And then same game, Beekman over 7.5 rebounds and assists. The projections had him at 31 projected minutes, the most on the team. If he's going to get that much time on the court, I think he's going to be able to do this against a pretty weaker defense in the Atlanta Hawks. So those are the plays for today. I have a couple other ones in the Discord. If you want to check us out and get access to all my plays, use the link in the description down below. Plenty of different ways to get them for free. Use my code for PrizePicks, Underdog, Betr, Sleeper, Dabble, any of those partner programs. They are a little bit different for each one. So some of them are code RichPicks, some of them are code Rich, some of them, like for Dabble's Rich DFS. But you get some perks for using my code, whether deposit matches, free squares, all those different things. And then again, if you use my code, let me know in the comments down below, or join the free part of the Discord. Hit me up in the general chat to say, hey, I used your code. I'll send you a screenshot in a DM, and just send me that screenshot. I'll get you the free month. So that's going to do it. Quicker video today, but hopefully we found some winners in this one. Stay light today, nothing too crazy. We're getting to the playoffs soon enough, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're coasting throughout. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Good luck with all your bets. Peace out.